Welcome to the TerraVision Home Video Podcast for the 13 weeks of Halloween, week number 6, Brad. We actually kept up 6 weeks.
Only 7 more to go.
Welcome, Chloe.
Hello.
Been a while. Glad to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
We got lots of plans for the three of us today, so we're going to get right into our first home video announcement. We got some stuff to talk about after that. Brad, why don't you get some lead in, and then I'll place all the trailer.
Yeah. So this one, people will be happy because they're always like begging for us to, say something like immediately for announcements because they can't wait. So that's what we're going to do. Just because of Chloe's time, she has graciously given us her few minutes here. So we're just going to roll the trailer and then talk about the art because Chloe's an amazing artist, and this is probably one of the best things she's done.
It's pretty great.
I'll probably say it every time, but
Yeah.
This one's really good. So yeah, we're just gonna. Actually, before we get into that, real quick, just so there's no miscommunication, this is a Gray Face title, not a TerraVision title. Gray Face is included into the Gray Face subscription if you have it. It's not included in the TerraVision subscription if you have that. However, you can add it to your TerraVision subscription, just like you can any partner label or anything else we do, because we do not exclude anything here. You can add it, or you can buy it at discount, or you buy it at full price. We got you covered. You can roll the trailer.
But is it included in the TerraVision subscription?
I'm sure we're going all these partner labels, all these sub labels. I hate it. It doesn't matter. You can include it. It's fine. We're all good.
All right, let's roll this. I'm gonna pause it, make it full screen because it won't be full screen at first.
Got it.
So
well, look at that doorbell. I know what it is.
What a ding dong! All right, here we go. Where are we? I'm sorry. Okay, here we are.
We can hear each other. Yeah. What a bleak opening for it's not a live stream.
Yeah, right.
Like I just like watching it, like because I was making everything live, and I'm just like, it sounds scary back there.
It's a great trailer.
Yeah, that is. I believe that's all cut by Rock Judson, trailer cutter extraordinaire.
Genuinely one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, Chloe, talk about the art a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the art that I ended up going with, because when I watched the movie, it's really, I love the imagery for starters. Like it was almost hard to pick a direction as far as like what angle to approach it from, just because there's so many different angles that you could go. But I did think I decided to go with like collage because of the recurring photography theme, and I don't know. Collaging is actually something that I don't do as much anymore, but I really that has a definitely a special part in my heart, as far as like physical art and like tactileness of it is really a satisfying process. So yeah, I just wanted to do something kind of different than anything else I've done, at least as far as releases go. Because I lean toward oil paint and illustration. So this is just kind of a different angle, but it was really
Yeah.
it was hard to come up with at the same time as it came together like kind of easily. But yeah, I don't know, it was tricky, but
Yeah,
definitely.
so I guess my question for you, because we don't really talk about this directly. Ryan usually works with you on this stuff. So yeah, I've always just seen the stuff that you've drawn, and like t-shirts, and obviously the past art that you've done. Where's your starting point with something like this?
Good question.
Other than watching the movie, of course.
Right.
And it's crazy that people watch movies before they do art, which is really cool. I wish more people did that.
It would be weird not to, wouldn't it?
It would. You're absolutely right. So, but where would you start, like, as far as like collage and just you have the floor now.
I mean, so I guess my full kind of process with this was obviously watching the movie and taking notes. And I also do screenshots as I'm going, just to be like, oh, I like the way that looked, or I like that composition, just so I can. Maybe it doesn't come through all the time, but just something to keep in mind of how the film looks and translates as you're watching it, so I can at least maybe keep that in mind when I'm making the artwork. And so basically, after I watched the movie and made some notes and grabbed a few stills, I sat and stared at blank pages for a while. And I was doing some illustration. That's usually where I start, just kind of doodling, and nothing was really making sense. And that's when I actually decided, I was like, collage would be really cool, because incorporating older like photography or just found stuff would make a lot of sense for this. And yeah, and basically then it was just a hunt of finding, is there something from old magazines. I pull a lot from just like really old magazines typically. And with this, where I wanted to like capture again realism was a big part of it, because I didn't want to illustrate something and it not translate well. So that's why I also thought collage was definitely the way to go, because that's very clearly arms, legs, and parts of a neck area. But it's also dispersed into like that abstract kind of shape of a moth. So it was just kind of a weird mix, and I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work. But yeah, and then I liked how it turned out, so I only did technically one side of it. I try to do as much
type thing.
Yeah. So I try to do as much like physical like art as possible. I don't typically do a lot of computer stuff, mostly because I'm just not good at it and I didn't really learn it. But yeah, I did duplicate the either side to make the full moth instead of doing a half, like a half shot. And yeah, it came together pretty easy once I had that whole half done. And then it was just playing around with how to make it look like a cover, which again, I'm kind of new to the whole graphic design element stuff. So that's I feel like the most challenging part, honestly, is like, but I always fall back on just doing as much on paper as possible and then scanning it in or photographing it.
Chloe, we got somebody asking, how do you feel about the O cards, the little ring that goes around the bottom half of the gray face titles? And do you ever plan your work around those being there?
Well, usually yes, and I completely forgot about it on this one. So I was like, when I saw the mock-up, I'm like, oh shit, because half of the little end part is cut off, but it does leave some mystery, which I actually like. I was planning that pretty heavily with the dawning and the river artwork. Those were kept in mind because basically the actual text of dawning is on the bottom of the actual jacket, and then the O card goes over it, and it's obviously meant to be upside down and all that stuff. So that worked well, and I did have that in mind. But yeah, with this one, I just completely forgot. And I do like them. I really like the way the oak hearts look. And I think it adds like a different kind of element to our releases. So I do like them a lot, actually.
Yeah,
Looks
when
nice.
when Ryan first showed me this, I didn't know what to expect because when I saw the photography, and just like kind of the collage, I was like, what is this? Because I'm not really used to seeing something like this from you. So like I didn't even notice the moth. I was trying to wrap my head around the artwork. And then I guess when he sent it back, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is very, 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 very good. And then I saw the moth a second time because I didn't see it the first time, which is part of the cool like mystery. And plus you have to watch the movie to get the moth reference, which I think it's in the trailer anyway. But
yeah, and I wanted that to like, I didn't want the moth to be like the central focus. It's more so like almost like a tertiary kind of image, but it is a recurring thing. So I'm glad that worked.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, hey, Rip. Yeah, no, I love it. And I mean, I don't think the O card, I think the O card kind of, or OB strip is what we call it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The O card is the slipcover.
True. Like when you're in your manufacturing states, I still say everything incorrectly. I just say slip. But yeah, no, I love it. It's so good. And then with this, we did, there's a lot of extras on this disc. I saw someone ask if there was a CD. I wish there was. We really tried to get the CD, but the composer wanted to like. Sometimes musicians and composers are worried that is like they think it's gonna impact like a later CD or a release, and they're just so afraid of kind of doing it themselves that they didn't want to include it. So I was a little down about that, but that's up to the composers. That's his decision. But we wanted to. The director did too, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
Brad, when is this shipping?
Did we put that it's
not on the website.
Yeah, we'll put a pre-order up there. It'll probably ship in October, I imagine. Everything's done. This is a finished product. It's just that we're waiting on the manufacturing. But this release has actually been done for a tiny bit. It's just one of those things where it's, contemporary films are sometimes hard to release. People have a problem with anything that's past the year like 1999, it seems. So we have to kind of put these in at places where we feel comfortable with doing it. I'm excited. I hope people dig this, because if you like Cronenberg-esque, so especially what like the stuff that Brandon Cronenberg is doing right now, this is very in line with that type of film and aesthetic. Some really, really cool stuff. But I did see someone asking about New Mirrors. New Mirrors is not included. That is simply because that is on the third window release with Adam. That is his release. Like he produced that himself with the director. So that's exclusive to their release, which is, I believe it's like a prequel to the movie, or like a sequel. It's only like, it's a short film. It's like 20 minutes or something like that. But that said, we have quite a bit of exclusive stuff on our release. Lots. Of course, our booklet with our writing. We also have so when the director did this, he had his version released, the 2022, when he released it. Well, when we started working together and putting things together for this release, he was not unhappy, but he wanted a couple things different. And it's not, we can't call it a director's cut because it's not a director's cut. He was just unhappy with some of the framing. He was unhappy with some of the sound. He wasn't happy with certain aspects to his movie of things that he could tweak. And he asked if he could do that, which, obviously I want him to be happy with the release. And so, yeah, in this version you have, he did this kind of cut, and not a cut, this version in 2024. So it should, I believe it's the exact same running time. It's just that the framing is a little bit different on certain scenes, but I wanted to include it both. One, we needed to contractually, and then also, I don't want to knock this out with the director. I want him to be happy with his release. And this also includes a 5.1 audio mix, which has never been heard before, which we did exclusively for this release because the sound design in this movie is insane. It's very haunting. The music's very good. It's almost like I think the sound's kind of an experience in itself with this movie. And then we have a commentary with this one, which is another exclusive. So this is the director, the two leads, and I believe the DP, which is also subtitled because most of these people don't speak English. So I want to go on record of saying we subtitled a commentary, which I've never done before in home video. I was a little apprehensive about doing it because I was like subtitling like a commentary. Like, I mean, sure, that's easy, but it's also a different language, So, if it was English, it would be a lot easier just to get, Rock to do it, but we needed a translator and also to sync it up. And you have 4 people talking, and if you're not there and you don't know who those people are and they're speaking a different language, that's rough, even if so we actually hired a native speaker in order to do this, that knew how to do commentary, to do subtitling and everything. So that was a little rough. But it's exclusive to the release. So I don't know. I think I even asked you, Ryan, one time how many people have ever done a subtitled commentary in another language before. So
there's not a ton. There's really only, I think the list we were looking at is like less than 15 or 20 like ever.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is it's hard, and bye, Chloe. Chloe,
thanks, Chloe.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
See you guys
bye,
later.
Chloe.
Bye.
So yeah, it was it's kind of a daunting process and big, and plus sometimes I think that as releasing these films in the US and speaking English, the director came and said, hey, is it okay if we do this? But they all have, everybody speaks Japanese. No one speaks, English aside from the director. And I was like, yeah, let's try it. and yeah, we went ahead and did that. We also did we went ahead and shot new interviews, which the director was very happy to do. So we have interviews with the two leads and the director. So that's a new making of exclusive to this release. And then we have all this, this stuff that he put together as far as like a stills gallery, storyboards, trailers and whatnot. And of course, the 5.1 audio mix. And then, yeah, I'm not sure if I talked about we have the booklet, which is writing from the director, critics, and then also, yeah, I forgot, we also have another commentary from Amber T, who is also a writer in the booklet, who did a commentary for this, who has been a big supporter of the director since he kind of started making short films and whatnot, and their pals. So a very, kind of critical, academic, but also like from a friend standpoint. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Question on the commentary from somebody in the chat: will the subtitles be standard horizontal or will they be vertical? I'm assuming they will be standard.
Yeah, it'll just be standard commentary text or standard subtitle text. So, but yeah, I'm very happy with this release. Excited to see how people react to it. Yeah, I love it.
Other than that, brand new 5.1 mix that's exclusive to this.
Yeah, we went ahead and had all the original, stems from that, and just went to town. And the director was very, very happy with how it all turned out and with his version. And that's what I'm saying. There's no like different cut of the movie. It's mainly, like I said, framing and whatnot. I see someone ask, English dub always better. We don't dub movies. Like, that's an incredibly expensive thing to do. Like,
incredibly.
That would be more than what we actually paid probably to like release the movie, and we would never make our money back. Like, when we did dubbing for New York Ninja when I was at Vinegar Syndrome, that was like a $30,000 process. Yep. You have to hire actors. You have to write that script. You have to get, that's not a thing that's really done much anymore. Only if you hire companies, and it's an incredibly expensive process. And these movies don't make enough money to warrant that ever in a million years.
Have you ever looked into home video stuff in Germany? Not to take this off the rails too much, but supposedly they're required to dub their stuff in German. And so for a lot of the stuff they acquire, it's like a $15,000 cost just for the dubbing on every single film that they.
Oh yeah. No, it's an expensive process because that's the thing is, you want to hire voice actors. You want to hire people that do this to be able to take that emotion that's on screen. And it's different for everything. I mean, you need emotion for dramas. You need delivery on comedy. You need so much, so you need to hire professionals, and it's just an absorbent amount of money. Now, if you're making some big movie and it's a studio release, then sure, you probably have that money. But for home video, never in a million years. I don't know anybody that dubs new stuff. Has that been done? Like
a little bit, not a ton.
Yeah, it's just and yeah, I mean, if there's a track that's available from the studio that made it, sure. But sometimes directors don't want their stuff dubbed, and filmmakers and companies.
Any chance that we would consider releasing a poster for this?
I don't know. That's a Ryan.
It's a Ryan question.
It's a Ryan question. I don't control any of that stuff. So
there you go. Confirmed. 99% of all movies and TV shows are dubbed here in Germany.
That's awesome. That's great. But yeah, that's I mean, if it was cheap, then yeah, but it's not. So someone asked, why not have an in-house dubbing staff? I'll just do all the voices.
In-house, there's what, 5 people? If you count all of the warehouse.
Yeah, you want actors, man. You don't want people like me, like saying every like.
Chloe's reading out the lines while doing artwork.
We would never have time for that. We'd be awful. I mean, it'd be pretty funny. And plus, I find dubs so bad. Like, I can't stand them. And I know that. I think the majority of people, unless there's a dub that already exists, the majority of people don't really want to dub or listen to a dub. Will the Dance or Die be added to the TerrorVision Clubhouse, like just the standard version of the movie? It's not on there.
I don't believe it is in the Clubhouse yet.
I will please add Dance or Die to the Clubhouse.
This is going to make a compelling listen on the podcast tonight.
Yeah. Boom. There you go. Just text the person in charge of that. Oh, and then I got to put in, so we don't get a million emails of, I placed an order tonight for this. Where is
when is it shipping?
Yeah. Oh, this person right here, Michael Logan. You actually make a good point. The Brad reads the subtitles out aloud. So that's the big difference, is that sometimes, like, you want to, it's just contextualizing everything. Like a lot of times, when people read the subtitles, it has a different impact of what they're actually saying. Like we do those hard translations, and sometimes when movies are translated in subtitles, they read the that's what happened with a lot of Hong Kong films, is that they were incorrectly dubbed because they were dubbing off the subtitles that were created, which were not 100% correct in the beginning. So these movies are like way off. Anyways, just to throw what happens with foreign films sometimes, which is a disaster. All right, pre-order.
Yep.
Boom. Done.
Anything else on New Religion?
No, I think that's it for New Religion. I hope people enjoy it. Add it to your sub again. This is automatic for the for the Gray Face subscription. It's not automatic for the TerraVision, but you can easily just add it. You can buy it at discount, or you can just pay full price. And this has the the pricing, the introductory pricing for the next week. So boom, there you go.
Let's get into, for many people that follow TerraVision, what might be the most exciting thing that was brought up for TV this week. Then, what is going on at Beyond Fest this week, Brad?
I have no idea. Yeah, so we if people are not following our social media, we announced that we are we have acquired and we're restoring a film, a lost slasher film from the 80s called Silent Death. Black Maid slasher that was at one point even considered a myth, that it didn't exist.
Oh yeah.
So this was a long, I mean, I guess I can go into the of how this happened. So years and years ago, when I was probably, I don't know, probably around 17 years old, I had a friend who's no longer with us. He was very much into this type of thing. And he got me really into a lot of what I'm into now. Because I would mainly rent stuff at the video stores. And I was blessed to have so many video stores around me when I was younger. Within I think I've said this before, within like a 10-mile radius, I had like 5 or 6 video stores that had chains like Blockbuster, and I had small mom and pop places. But when I met him, he was very much into very underground stuff and stuff that you couldn't find, stuff from other countries. Got a lot of bootlegs from overseas, and I was going to a LAN party for Xbox games, and my mom dropped me off because I don't think I was driving at the time, and I sat down, and he was doing his thing. He was older than me, like 5 years older, and he was just kind of getting ready because I think he woke up late or something. He always had movies playing. I just sat down, and I was watching the middle of this movie, and I don't watch movies from a middle. I won't watch it. Like I start the movie from the beginning. So I knew we weren't going to be there long, so I'm just kind of like had this movie on the background. I think I'm like playing like Snake or something like on my phone, because this is back years ago where it was like Pong and like Snake, not ancient, but there wasn't really like crazy games or anything like that. Probably like texting or whatever. And I'm just kind of like glancing up at the screen, and I'm like seeing this like police procedural like slasher film happening in the background, and I just didn't think to ask him like what it was. I didn't think to say anything, and I was just like, slasher movie, I'll see this probably eventually, because I'm like on a slasher binge anyway. And I never asked him. And a few months later, he died. I want to say it's suicide. He was walking on a train track with his headphones in, but whatever, you can make your own assumptions.
Yeah.
And yeah, he passed away, and I just never really thought about it. And years ago, it started coming back. Like, what was this movie? So I'm just like going about my life watching, slasher films, blaxploitation. I just never came across this movie. And I would say maybe about 10 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer, I came across this piece on this movie called Silent Death. And I was like, holy shit, I bet this is it. I bet this is the fucking movie. But I couldn't find anything. Like, this wasn't on, Karagara or like Cinemageddon. It wasn't anywhere. So I was like trying desperately to find this movie. And I knew how it ended. I knew who the killer was. And I knew those pieces, and that stayed in my head. So I was like, I think I've seen this movie. So I, eventually, when I, reached out to Vaughn, the director, I told him, I was like, hey, this, I think I've seen this movie. And he's like, no one has seen this movie. He's like, unless you were like in the theater, and we only played it like for a week or so. I think they played it. So I know that there's people talking about online. The movie was made in 1981, but what didn't play at that, the theater in New Jersey until 83. So the movie was filmed in 1980, I believe, and then they finished it in 81, and then in 83 they tried getting a distribution. So they Vaughn made, I think he said he made 3 or 5 tapes, I don't remember, and he gave them to distributors. Jeez. So he probably maybe gave one to Troma because, they made this in New Jersey. They were in New York. And then he never heard anything. So he just kind of stopped. And those 5 copies were it. Somehow, I still, to this day, have not heard of any copies floating around. But I mean, I have, but I was like, oh shit. So I have, it was a copy that somehow he got that I remembered. I asked, I won't say what the ending is because I'm not gonna, even though this movie's 40 years old, no one's seen it, so I'm not gonna spoil it. So I told him, I was like, this happens, and he was like, holy shit, man, you've seen it.
You did see it.
I was like, oh my god, I was like freaking out. So anyways, we needed to locate elements for this and also check if they're in good shape. But the issue is that he didn't have any sound. And so then I was back to square one of finding one of those fucking tapes. So we finally, Vaughn actually helped, and he found one. I guess it was like in storage. It was usable, thank God. It had mold, but we were able to extract the sound. So the sound's not going to be perfect on this, but it's this or nothing, and we're not going to redub the movie because all the audio is intact. We'll probably have to have subtitles, I imagine, because it is a little faint and dainty, but this movie was made for no money, really quick. It was kind of a test. So it has its own issues, and audio was probably one of them doing that. Having recorded bad audio was probably just part of the shit that was happening. However, I don't know if I've told you this, Ryan. This is crazy though. So we're doing extras on this movie. So the only way to really get the names was the credits on the VHS, which I was, I had and I was scanning, and I came across the composer because immediately when I was like, I can't wait to watch. So I had the VHS. I'm like, I'm going to watch this as an entirety because I've only seen the last 30 minutes, and even that was faint. So I watched the movie, and I'm clipping it for audio, and I'm sending it to Ryan. And I'm like, am I crazy, or is this one of the best scores you've ever heard in your life? And we were just blown away by how great this score is. It's heavy. It's very synthy. It's very droning. And there's 5 really, really, really good tracks. So the composer's listed as Dennis Kelly. So I reach out, I find him, and he talks about composing the music. He believes we're actually this week we're checking to see he believes he has all the original audio for this movie as far as the music is concerned. And he's actually used that music for other projects because he loved it so much, because nothing ever happened with Silent Death. So we're talking, and like just casually, he just says, why do you do these things? Like, why do you go after these movies? And I said, well, this is a big passion of mine. I love the idea of lost movies. I don't think anything should disappear, no matter how bad it is. Let people make their own decision on the film, but a lot of work, a movie has to be conceptualized, it has to be written, it has to find funding, it has to shoot, it has to be edited. There's a lot of work, and it's crazy how many lost movies there are that never ever had any form of distribution whatsoever. And so I said, well, I worked on this movie called New York Ninja. And he goes, whoa. Wait a minute. He's like, New York Ninja, like John Liu New York Ninja? And I'm like, yeah, did you see it recently? He's like, no, I fucking worked on that. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So one, he was originally supposed to do the score for New York Ninja, but never got the gig.
Wow.
But he did record a couple things on for it, which he sent me. And then he was the one that, because there's only one song, the Bronx Style Bob song, the New York Ninja song, that we actually have in the movie that we put in the credits because we licensed that from Bronx Style Bob. Dennis Kelly's on that fucking record. His name is, he did all the rap music or the rap track for Bob for that title. And then he was originally supposed to do the music for New York Ninja, but it was never made. So they dropped it. I was like, dude, how many fucking lost movies have you worked on? Like, this is crazy. It's just a very,
the odds of that are insane.
Yeah, it's just so odd that I worked on 2 of these lost movies, then he did the music. But Dennis is insane. He goes by so many different names, but he is an amazing musician. He sent me these tracks because he was always a little bit ahead of his time. So when you hear this music in Silent Death, it's hard to believe this music was being recorded in 1980 because a lot of this stuff didn't exist yet. Essentially, like playing, he was like, I'm going to send you some stuff, and it's copy. He had the copyright, and he was like, tell me what this sounds like. And he listened to it, and he was doing like trip hop in like 1979. And I was just like, this is crazy. He was like, he's not cocky. He's like, I didn't create trip hop. But he's like, I was doing this stuff in New York before, anybody else was. Right. So yeah, he's a very cool guy. I hope we can do a screening. We'll probably do screenings. Like, we're trying to do wide theatrical with this, not like, every theater, but, micro theaters and stuff like that. So I imagine we'll play it in New Jersey for Vaughn to come out to, and hopefully some of the cast. But yeah, it's been a really cool project, one, to bring it back from the dead, but Vaughn really didn't care about this movie. And I sent him screenshots of like the restoration, and it all usually does. This is usually what happens. Like, it all comes back. He's like, oh man, he's like, this looks way better than I remember it being. And it's an important film. Like I said, in our press release, this predates films like Candyman and what we know as Axum today, which is, a smaller film. It was made in 92, but came out like, I think like 2000 something, sat on the shelf for a bit, was recut. But this is like 11 years before that.
Yeah. And Florida storms strike again.
Oh, snap.
You're back, though. It's okay.
Yeah, it is about the storm. There's also an element in this movie. I can't say because it's a spoiler. And I was like, is this the first fucking movie to do this? And it honestly, like, I think it is the first movie to do it. I don't know. We'll see. but anyways, yeah, I am very excited about this. We're trying to take this, out and about and do, the film needs to be seen. It only played theatrically, like I think 3 days is what Vaughn said, in different theaters, and no one showed up.
There's an aspect of this that I think a lot of people don't understand, because we talk about lost media all the time. Like even Night of the Juggler, which is getting a big resurgence right now because of Kino and Radiance and all that, was referred to as lost media. This is like never before seen media for most people in the world. Like the amount of people that saw this was extremely small, and so getting a Beyond Fest premiere and getting a proper restoration and release almost 40 years later, or properly 40 years later, is insanity. I mean, this is one of those things that people lit up when this was announced the other day, because they were like, man, I read about this in this magazine in 1986. I've been wanting to see it forever. Like, this is answering Hail Marys for people decades old, literally.
Yeah, we're excited about it, because when I first proposed this to Beyond Fest, because when we work with festivals, you have a good rapport and relationship, and basically it's like a what you got situation. Yeah. And so we pitched a few things, and then
you cut out again, hoping you come back soon. If not, I'll call it. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, so we pitched the movie. I just said lost movie, and it basically got in immediately, because they understood, like, historically how important a lost movie is, but also being the first black slasher movie ever made.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal for that time period. So we have that, and also pretty cool. Also, a little tidbit is that our lab that we exclusively use is Black owned. It's the only Black owned lab in the entire world, and they're restoring that too. So that's kind of neat. A little tidbit, a little behind the scenes, which it's important to notice that, because it's not something that happens very often. So yeah, Jamie at Gotham, they're doing they got the scan almost, I think it's all scanned, partially restored, because we were working on a couple of those screen caps and stuff. I sent him the screen caps that I wanted to have them restore first, so we could publicly post those. I'm excited, and that's it for Beyond Fest. But we also have Hide and Go Shriek that is playing at Fantastic Fest, and next Thursday it's the midnight slot at 11:30. It's on opening night, and then I think it plays again on Monday, like at 10 p.m. or something, and that will be the world premiere of the uncut version at a theater. Yeah, and the restoration.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we have that too. So, and then we also have another thing. If you're in LA, I can't announce this yet because they don't have it on their schedule. So I don't want to.
Not yet.
I don't want to get on there. I don't want to upset them. But on October 1st, and I think we'll be there on October 1st at the Vista Theater, I believe. It's the stuff that's held by the New Beverly, Tarantino, and the Video Archives Cinema Club. There will be a movie playing there on the 1st to kick off their Halloween spectacle. I won't say what it is because I don't want to rain on their parade. But we should be out there for that, and of course we'll be out there for Beyond Fest on the 4th. So Silent Death plays October 4th at 10 p.m. at Los Feliz 3. It's a free screening, but you have to sign up that day, and these things sell out fast. We did it when we did the secret screening for Rumpelstiltskin. I think it sold out in a matter of like minutes. This probably will too. And those are free just because it keeps the festival going. So I think all screenings at Los Feliz 3 are free. They go on sale the day of. So if you're in LA, grab a ticket. It should be a fun. I'm very excited to see how people react to it, because there's going to be a lot of laughs because the movie does have a lot of goofy moments. But it's going to be something to be seen. And hopefully we'll do, like I said, screenings throughout, the world, really, because I'm not going to say no to any theater that wants to play this because it deserves it. So we will take this theatrically, and then we're obviously going to do a home video release, but it'll probably be, I would say, next year at some point. Maybe it'll kick off 13 weeks of Halloween next year, because we have still a couple open slots for next year still. So that's right. It's already booked.
Yep. The October 1st screening would make fans of TerrorVision very happy. So if you are hardcore fans of TerrorVision, I would be ready to get tickets booked for that, because that's going to be a pretty rare.
The thing is, I think it's only 20 people. 20. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's a very micro theater. I was like, oh, I didn't know it would be so small, but it's a very so it's October 1st. There's no time frame yet, but it's a double feature with something else too, that we're not a part of, but we're there for the first movie. So 20 seats. Good luck. I don't know. It's like, does this thing sell out like immediately? Because it seems like it would just sell out immediately in LA.
I was about to say, does each seat do they cost like $100 a piece? They actually make money on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it does. It's a VHS thing, so that's probably why, because they only play movies on VHS there. So that's probably why. Maybe people aren't into watching VHS tapes.
That might not be the Vista then. I think the Vista is film only. And I think Whammy is the one that does VHS only.
This says Video Archives Vista Micro Cinema.
Oh, you know what it is? I think they have one attached to the actual Vista.
Oh, okay.
It's like a side screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it's playing. And I believe, because I ask, because usually like when we do that, we we ask like, how many seats are you selling tickets? Is it a free event? Just so we can, because we don't charge a lot to book movies, because I think that's ridiculous. Other people that you book movies through don't charge thousands of dollars because it's dumb. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. Just don't charge a lot of money to book a movie. It's silly. Yeah, it's just dumb. Because we've done, when we used to do that for the TerrorVision screenings ourselves. Like I remember we were like Halloween 4, we wanted to play at the TerrorVision Fright Fest, and they were like $800, and I was like, it's a ticket. It's not even a ticketed event. It's a badge, and we don't even make any money off of it because it just goes to renting out the fucking theater for like 18 hours. I was like,
which is why so many places don't ever announce that they're playing things, and it's a surprise, and you show up and they're playing something that they didn't get the rights for.
Yeah, good luck. You get, like, I remember, I forget who owns the Fog. They sued, I think, the Alamo Drafthouse, because the Alamo Drafthouse played like somewhere, like I forget what city it was, but they played the Fog, and it wasn't, and they caught on to that, and they sued their ass. Yeah, and it was a lot of money, and I was like, all right, we ain't doing that. I'll just bargain with you. I'll be like $200. That's it. $100. $50.
Well, that's it for new stuff. Last thing, I guess. Any shipping updates on what is pending? Arbor Day and Invader.
Yeah. So our replicator is slow as hell. Apparently they will be to me either tomorrow or Monday. and then we will QC these bitches really fast, and then they'll ship out. I imagine they're fine, but again, like I've said in the past, we QC a test disc, and that's the disc. But after they're pressed, we just do a functionality check. But after this recent bullshit with Devil's Sword and Suddenly in the Dark, never fucking again. So you'll have to wait a couple extra days, and you can yell at us. We don't give a shit. We're gonna test the physical disc all the way through. That means watching the movie, listen to the commentaries. I dread it because I do this 100 times to begin with, and I definitely don't look forward to doing it once more. But I guess all my TerraVision titles will be open at that point because most of my stuff's sealed because I never watched it. Right. Why would I? I've seen it 100 times at this point. So,
all right, that's it then. Other than a recap, anything else you want to bring up or shout out?
Yeah. So no. Just next week is week whatever 7. I guess
7. Yeah. And now you're frozen, of course, as you go into the diatribe. Counting down the moments. Yep. There you go. Now you're back. Week 7.
Hurricane
What's
weather
up?
right now? Hurricane weather right now. It's not that bad. So next week, week 7, hopefully we have something cool. I know people are anticipating that.
And you're gone again. And you're back.
We'll just cut it here. No one gives a shit.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. No, next week. Well, we did get a question. Is it update on the 90s monster movie? Is that next week for sure?
We're trying. We need to make sure everything's perfect because it is UHD. So we need to make sure it's 100% ready for UHD because it's very important that we need to I gotta go because she wants to play. So this is what happens. She's pulling my hand to go play. This is Ripley. So if anybody wants to see Rip, this is her.
I am genuinely going to call it because you keep cutting out now. Let's go into the trailer one more time. Just a reminder, New Religion from Greyface is the new home video announcement for this week. We'll play the trailer and we'll see you next week. Maybe there will be something next Friday, but we'll see. Here goes the trailer. Have a good night.
Bye.
Be safe this weekend. Bye all.
私は写真を撮るのですが、許可いただけるでしょうか。
あなたに会ったことがあります。どんなだっけ。あれは夢の中だ。じゃあ一緒に歌おうか。Happy birthday to you。なくなっちゃった。取り戻せない。どんなことでも全部終わっちゃうから。
来てくれましたね。
すみません。部屋を明るくしてもらえますか。あなたはこんな夢を私に与えた。